South Korea for the newly built Yaoping GP circuit. A long, winding racetrack, a lot of passing opportunities, and in practice we've seen a lot of bean and banging for a race that could show a lot of promise here today. Alan Cavanero grabbed the pole today in the MRE 3 car. Nick Mace will start right beside him. More news today. Red Bull Racing has offered to actually pay the $100,000 fine, but they're only paying half of it. They are asking ARCSOA to pay the rest of it, and ARCSOA has refused to comment on that either. They've been really silent about this, other than saying if this lawsuit causes incidents on the track between these two, then they don't really care about the lawsuit and they don't want to get involved in it. This was said 2 weeks ago, and I have a feeling ARCSOA is ignoring paying for this fine. So, how this will play out, I can't really tell you. But this definitely is going to make these next couple races interesting, because Retro Racing Enterprises has not really done anything to Red Bull on the track since the accident, and neither has Red Bull wrecked any retro racing cars as well. It's been very, very quiet, and there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of people getting irritated over the lack of information. That rhymed. But let's head to the green. Green flag in the air here at South Korea for the South Korea Grand Prix. Alan Cavanero on the pole leads to the green flag. Nick Mace right beside him. And oh boy, newly built track finished just 10 minutes ago. So we dive into turn number 1 here. 3 wide for the lead already. This is a very long, winding track because Koreans are crazy. Into the turn, everybody beating and banging against each other here. 4 wide for the lead here, almost 5 wide. We got a 5-car pack here. It's a 2-car pack. We got 4 wide for second going on right now between McWirt, Zach Rogers, Mason. I think that is Fibrosis in the 9. Cool camera angle right there. And Alan Cavanero. This is actually not that long of a racetrack, to be honest here, as everybody's piling into this turn. And look at the dive the 9 makes on the bottom. Could not stick it. He got tight. And Alan Cavanero, who won at Ireland earlier this year, is the leader as we head into the final turns. Interesting this track. Lap. It's allowed for a lot of bumping in practice here. And look at this. Oh, pile up a little bit. Jeffrey Finguy got nudged by the 44 of Sean Galligan. And Galligan right into the back of the 82, got him loose, but Finguy sticks it. And that was a close one. That was incredible. That was insane. Never seen that kind of bumping before. Well, actually we have, but not in that kind of magnitude. This is a huge pack of cars battling for only second place. It feels like a super speedway race right now. As Cavanero is slipping away here. DeMax into second. Oh, Daniel Day into the 3, and he spins it. He slid off. And that's our first problem. But DeMax, he's got Korean roots here. He's half American, half Korean. He knows how big of a win this would be if he can win here in his, I guess what he's been calling this week, his new home play of Daniel Day's incident right here. He's in second, but he just gets way too tight in the turn, gets into the 3, slides it. He actually does somewhat save it. He takes it into the sand and gets the car back out. And he's not even going to lose. He's not going to fall all the way to last because of this. He only looks like he's falling only. Rose had a really good start here. As we're on lap number 3 here. Oh, everybody being bump. Mason to the 9, gets them loose. Zach Rogers got loose because of the 9. And Fibrosis transfers into 3rd. Taking it from Zach Rogers here, unless Rogers can somehow take it back. But this race has been really, really good so far, and we're only 3 laps in. Here's another really good battle. McWirt, Dylan Young, contact there. McWirt got tight and loose at the same time. He sticks into the 2. This has been one. Everyone's beating and banging against each other like it's the finale. This track has provided some great racing entertainment so far here. Dylan Young on the outside of McWirt. Vincent Allen. I can't imagine how this upcoming turn is going to be like. Vincent Allen, although is actually in the top 10, so he's doing a fantastic job here today at South Korea. He's right on the back of McWirt here. I have a bad feeling about this turn. Yeah, they all stick in. Little contact. 3 wide there. As Dylan Young, our points leader, is in the top 10 as per usual this year. But McWirt trying to take it from him because Noah Hart, who sits 4th in the standings, and that is McCord's teammate. Got to help your teammate back in the title. Max has run down Alan Cavanero in the 83 as he's right behind him here. Here's a camera angle. And DeMax now on the straightaway, getting the run on the 83. Cavanero versus DeMax. Cavanero 23rd in the standings. DeMax 6th in the standings. Oh boy, both these two are looking for their second win this year as Nick Mace approaches behind them. Both these two really could use a win. As DeMax has fallen off these last few weeks, but he actually did pull off a really good finish last week at Milton Stoney. Oh man, contact between those two for the lead. Texan Audi finished 1-2 last week. Pollard's nowhere to be found, but DeMax is showing a lot of strength. Oh boy, I thought he was about to turn that 83 right there and then. Cannot turn away from this battle for sure. This is really good between these two. Side by side, DeMax has got the faster car, but Cavanero's got the cornering. And oh boy. And here comes Mace now. It's a 3-horse battle for the lead. I think DeMax will clear him here. He does. DeMax does clear the 83. Cole Daly all the way back in 29th place. He's 2nd in points. He went to 2nd in points after a decent finish at Ukraine last week. But unfortunately, Daly is just not up there right now, and Dylan Young's probably enjoying that a bunch of his rivals for the championship are struggling here today. As Daly is about to fall to 30th, because here comes Nico Hall. Vincent Allen and Trevor Bros is battling for 7th place right now. Vincent Allen's had a really fast car all weekend long, and this number 91 car as he's passing by the Season 8 champion here. Vincent Allen's been crazy fast this weekend. A lot of potential for him to do well in this number 91 Dodge, and that team, they could really use a good run here as they've been struggling in the points all year long. Mopart's Dodge factory team, they haven't been doing so swell. Allie Nelson's been disappointing. Vincent Allen is doing the best he can so far. So Rosa does get cleared by the 91. Good job. Looking back to lap number 1 here, apparently Eric Byrne got involved in an incident with James Shelley. We're hearing. Oh wow, Shelley just booted the 55 off the track. That was not very nice by James Shelley. Another battle is erupting for second between Lamas, Mace, and Cavanero. Lamas is the highest in the top 5 in points in this race. He's currently 5th in the points, and he's trying to get to 2nd as he's sitting in 4th right now. As there's the points here, Dylan Young right there. Lamas knows he has to gain ground on Dylan Young in the points if he wants to go for the title. But here comes the 2. Slides into him a little bit. Almost turned him right there. That would have not been a very popular move. At least in S3 Motorsports eyes. This has been a very intense battle here. Mace, Cavanero, contact for 2nd between those two. This race is just absolutely insane. Everybody's driving like it's the championship, and we're not even halfway through the season. On board with Jeffrey Finguy in the 82, bound with PJ Williams here. Bam, right there. The nudge, that was it right there. That was all he needed. Here comes Pollard and PJ Williams on the bottom. That was a big bump. Everyone heading to pit stops this lap except for Vincent Allen. Got a couple of cars that are staying out a little while longer. There was rumors that this race was going to be very much focused on pit strategy because of the amount of laps in the pit window. A lot of drivers said that they could only go 10 laps. Some said 11 and some said 12. And with this being 24 laps, we could be seeing a fuel mileage gamble finish. You can see Duncan and Sean Galligan back there. They are also they're also going to try and stay on an extra lap and try and take a gamble. So this race could be decided by pit strategy, and we will see how that unfolds as Vincent Allen is the leader. DeMax would hold the lead after pit stops ended, but Dylan Young is in 2nd. Tell you what, I mean, both these two have just been incredibly fast this year as DeMax in his home track. I mean, this crowd gave him a huge standing ovation in the driver's intros today. He was the loudest out of all of them. And he is definitely doing a great job in his ancestral country here. And Texan Audi continuing to just absolutely flat out dominate this year. They've won almost half the races in the first 9 races of the season. They've won 4. And they could be looking for a 5th in 10 races if DeMax continues to hold this run. So Vincent Allen and William Duncan, these two are taking the gambles. Also is Sean Galligan for now, but this is the 2 guys we're focusing on. Galligan's team has said that they are not even going to take the gamble. They just stayed out because they felt like it. But Vincent Allen's teams and William Duncan's teams have both reported in the radio that they are both going to go for the gamble. So whether or not this works, it will be between these 2. It's either going to be Duncan and Vincent Allen at this point winning if it goes to fuel strategy, and probably Eugene and Max if it doesn't go to fuel strategy. And these 2 are battling really hard here. Oh man. We're about to turn away to the next car, but then this erupted. Allie Nelson's the highest rookie in the field right now. She's currently sitting in 18th place, surprisingly. Her rival for the Rookie of the Year title, Matt Duncan, is sitting in dead last. They had an issue in the pit row. They couldn't get the lug nut in for a moment there. And oh man, that is one guy you do not want to bump. Allie Nelson just gave the bumper to Kenny Mine of all people. She is not playing nice no matter who you are. Oh man. No, she's very outspoken. She did say that she doesn't care how much you've done. She's going to bump you either way. And she said that in the beginning of the season when we had the press conference for all the new drivers. And she said she wouldn't back down anyone. And I think now she's starting to keep her word, because that was absolutely nuts. And it was only a slight bump. This is an interesting strategy going on right here. Fibrosis and Meyer pitting way early here. And so is McWhirter. We got a bunch of different fuel strategies going on. It's only been a couple of laps since the first pit stop. Looks like Fibrosis, Maya, and McWhirter are just going to pit now and worry later because, I don't know, but, it's an interesting move, but whether or not it'll work, we got a couple other drivers doing the same thing as well. Like everybody's just going to pit early because we're hearing a lot of different chatter just coming in now, including Vincent Allen. He's decided to back out of the gamble. So Vincent Allen, he's claimed he's going to back out of the gamble. They're not going to take the risk. So now, this transfers William Duncan to the lead, because DeMax and the other leaders just pit as well, and Duncan was the only one to not come into pit road this time. Here is our new first place position driver, William Duncan. He's the only driver on the track right now who is taking this gamble. And considering how their season's gone, a gamble is probably for the best. They're sitting in 19th in the points. You're approaching lap traffic of Charles Sanford and Matt Duncan. But he's dealing with them fine here. He gets by his brother, he gets by Sanford. Sanford's fighting back a little bit, but not touching him at all. No contact. Duncan easily cleared him. So now, Duncan stays out, but will it work? We will find out with only a couple laps to go. Oh man. If Duncan pits, the Max transfers to the lead, but Duncan's got a 28-second gap over the 92 at the moment. So there's a lot of different scenarios that can come out of this. If Duncan can at least get into pit road, okay, and if he can get at least the pit road on the final lap, he could maybe still take the win from DeMax, even if he comes into pit road, but we'll see. I mean, 20 seconds, that's not, considering when during pit stops, that's not much of a gap, but I think it may be a big enough gap to where Duncan could really coast it. He would only need to coast it in the second half of the racetrack. Williams and his teammate Cody Lamas battling for the top 5 spot. P.J. Williams knows that Lamas needs these points, so he lets him go here, but Cavanero out of nowhere dives into the 5. P.J. Williams let his teammate go. He knows Lamas has got a better chance at the title than he does himself. Swung him right by, waved at him, told him to go by me. Young is still in third, technically. He will finish second if Duncan does not make it. Laps to go for William Duncan right now. He battles with Ted Nowakowski. Nowakowski's got fresher tires, but Nowakowski is a lap down. He had issues in the pits. They failed. They sped in the pit road on the last time, so they had to come in and fix it. So Ted Nowakowski getting his lap back right here. Good job of the 15. Drive-through penalty really killed that 15 car. Charles Sanford's also a faster car, but he's laying off the 41 for now. Sanford knows not to mess with Duncan. These two are really good friends off the track, and he knows. He cannot let Duncan be screwed over. Here we go, coming to the white flag here. Sanford's not playing nice with the 41. Into the final turn to take the white flag. Duncan lets him scoot by. He doesn't come into pit road. He will take the gamble. White flag in the air for William Duncan, the 41. A struggling year for Team Thunder all year long. They've had no success this year. He is fighting hard. He's drafting with Sanford. This probably could be strategy. Probably Sanford went on by so Duncan could draft him here. But battling with him here is not going to help either. So he's probably stick to the bumper of that 24. Save fuel. His times are 5 seconds slower than DeMax's. But DeMax is 25 seconds behind. So this race, Duncan could coast it. He could literally coast from here and probably still win it. If he comes into pit road, I think he'll be safe. He hasn't run out of yet. Less than 5 turns to go here. Is he gonna pull a Nico Hall? He's run in 12th all race long until the pit stops happened. Does he go into pit road? He does not go into the pit road. He will stay out. Duncan's got it. He could coast. It's over. Swinging around that final turn. Coming to the checker flag. William Duncan wins by fuel strategy here in South Korea, as South Korea boos him hard for defeating their home country driver. An upset victory, and not going to be a very popular win for DeMax fans for sure, or Asian fans in general. But Duncan takes the checker flag by fuel mileage and scores Team Thunder's first win of the year.